Community homeless advocates say the governor needs to do more to address the problem in the Ocean State. Leaders from Providence held a press conference today while a group marched the city streets demanding action. 12 News reporter Sheena Losciuto breaks down what prompted the demonstration.
She spoke with one man who recently experienced homelessness. What did he have to say, Sheena?
Well, the demonstrators told me that they've asked for change over and over again, but so far their calls have been unanswered, and that's why today they just went straight to the State House.
All 39 cities and towns need housing.
Cities, states, and federal leaders celebrate the millions of dollars in funding they've secured to help those experiencing homelessness.
We're hoping that folks will be moving into the new building in the fall of 2024.
Including $10 million in the state budget to help build the new Crossroads Summer Street apartments with 176 units. Crossroads say the goal remains the same, to help everyone in their care find a permanent home.
Our hope is we have a small funding gap to fill, which we hope that will be filled in the next couple of months, and we expect a groundbreaking in the spring of 2023.
Meanwhile, dozens of others marched through the streets of Providence, ending at the State House Monday, calling on Governor McKee to do more and make a plan for the hundreds of Rhode Islanders living on the streets.
It's terrible.
Danny Griffith says he would know. About a month ago, he was one of them.
I don't feel that especially the current government here in Rhode Island cares enough about the homeless. It's a travesty.
When asked for a response to the demonstrators, the governor says he's committed to addressing homelessness in the state, and he continues working towards that.
We're working with advocates that are clearly on board. They responded to the RFP that we put out to put more units, more shelter in place before Thanksgiving, before the cold weather comes.
And the demonstrators over at the State House today say they really think the governor needs to have more urgency about this. They say they will continue making their voices heard. Reporting live in Warwick, I'm Sheena Losciuto, 12 News.
Federal, state, and city leaders joined together this afternoon to celebrate what they're calling record investments in housing.
This includes millions of dollars in secured funding to build a new Crossroads apartment building that can house 176 people, giving them a new lease on life. However, as officials were doing that, community advocates marched to the State House, calling on elected leaders to do more.
12 News reporter Sheena Losciuto spoke to the governor and has the story that's new tonight. Sheena?
Well, the advocates tell us that right now about 400 Rhode Islanders live outside, including children. And those demonstrators at the State House want to see the governor make a plan to address that.
It is a glorious day in Rhode Island.
While some state leaders say celebrations are in order in the state's continuous fight to address homelessness.
Thank you.
A demonstration plays out at the State House. This group, made up of advocates and people who have or are experiencing homelessness, say the state needs to do more.
We want to see a government that works for the people.
At Crossroads, Rhode Island, elected officials and leaders gather to tout the millions of dollars being invested in housing for those experiencing homelessness right now. Many say this starts with building infrastructure, and by 2024, Crossroads hopes to have their new Summer Street apartments built with 176 new units.
I'll tell you, I've had grown men come to tears saying, I'm going to have my own bathroom.
We're going to work tirelessly to find a permanent home for every person and every family that's in our care.
Meanwhile, other advocates say the governor should issue a state of emergency over just how many people are living on the streets and make a clear plan on how to address that.
We appreciate the advocates out there. We listened to them last year. That's why we put $5 million out on the, to help with the homeless issue last year. We're working with advocates that are clearly on board. They responded to the RFP that we put out to put more units, more shelter in place before Thanksgiving, before the cold weather comes.
And if you're wondering where that new Crossroads apartment building will be built, it will be right by their other building in Providence. Reporting live in Warwick tonight, I'm Sheena Losciuto, 12 News.